Have you ever seen, I brought this up the other day, and Andy's seen it too, and you guys are too young to have seen this, but there was a movie that was only on television, but I think one of the greatest things ever called Killdozer. Do you ever see Killdozer?
God, yeah.
Killdozer. There's some guys on a deserted, like an island doing construction,
exactly.
and they have a bulldozer, and this is the plot. A meteor hits the island, and for some reason that they never explain, it makes the bulldozer come to life and want to destroy all humans. But it's a bulldozer. Its top speed is 8 miles an hour. But they show guys like, and they start to run and they fall and they lay there for the 10 minutes it takes for the bulldozer to get to them. And my favorite part is one guy's running away and the bulldozer's, all he has to do is climb a tree or just go get in the woods. That's all he has to do.
Or get in the driver's seat of the bulldozer.
Oh, get in the driver's seat of the bulldozer. What this guy does is he runs, I'll never forget this, he runs and he gets in like an aluminum tube in front of the bulldozer and hides in it, and it crushes the aluminum tube. You gotta see Killdozer. That's what I'm here to do.
I'm just having second thoughts about my movie where this meteor comes down and hits a Zamboni. I'm probably going to have to rewrite that one.
And all you have to do is step in the desert.
Well, no, I know it's set in Jamaica. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, my God.
It's a jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show.
Oh! No one can see it now, but Mike has just blinded us by the light. And if I weren't mistaken, I'd say I'm about to be bulldozed.
I've never really understood what that means, that Springsteen's title.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah, I know there's a movie about a cult called that.
Oh, dear.
There's about 50 Bruce songs that are stolen from movie titles. All right.
A Manfred Mann's blinded by the light.
Yeah, I
The
wonder.
invincibility of youth and the hopeful perspective that anything is possible. We've been holed up in here, and we can't help but be a little claustrophobic because we just feel like all our machinery today is trying to kill us. How appropriate. So, returning to the show, I'm your host, Sully. Gil, movie hunter Palmer, is back as always.
Hello.
You send him the $5 aisle, he'll take out the entire rack. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Comedy buff himself, Mike Ensing, is in sync with us. Oh, and lo and behold, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's security guard Tom Lindemann.
Hey, Tom.
No pressure.
And the meteor begat Killdozer.
Oh my God.
That's how it starts.
We don't know anything for a fact.
Clint Walker.
Except that bulldozer kills.
Carl Betts. 2 men dead. The survivors watch an unmanned bulldozer continue its rampage. Killdozer.
Yeah.
I was curious because I must have missed a part because it looked like that meteor had been buried for a long time. So it crashed landed, like a long time ago, and then
it starts in outer space if you catch it from the very beginning.
Yep, I did see that. I just didn't know how long ago that meteor was supposed to have hit the Earth.
That's true. They don't really. Among the many other issues, there's.
According to Tumblr post on the MST3K project, apparently some user found that the novel it's based on, that's right, we're talking about something based on a book. It became a TV movie and a comic.
30 years until it did, yeah.
Right. It's just so weird how apparently these questions were explored, and why the blue energy from the asteroid makes it come alive. Because that ain't in the movie. We see it, but we don't.
Because it's a cheap special effect. They'd have to spend a lot of money.
Well, if you look at the movie, it looks like the only thing that gets possessed is the blade. But because if you're talking about that blue energy, all it ever does is light up the blade.
You're right.
On the bulldozer.
It is actually hysterical to me how so many video games have even referenced this. I mean, everything. Like, there's a RPG, Alan Wake. The movie Grindhouse calls his wrecking car the Killdozer. It's like, it's just all kinds of just different just appearances. There was even a Foggy mentioned it in a Daredevil episode.
So
Michael loved this.
The blade was doing all the damage. It was dragging it was doing the sounds, and
I
it
guess
was
so.
dragging the rest of the Killdozer along. It was all,
Well,
it's all about the blade.
Tom
well,
is
as
here in the
everybody
studio.
knows, the
Yeah.
blade is the brain of the entire operation.
Allegedly.
Is he
So-
talking about the Marvel hero or the? And anyway,
Oh, Mike, you're a Simpsons guy. Apparently, a season 26 episode referenced the Killdozer. So this is kind of why I wanted to do this. This is just one of those kind of like Trilogy of Terror, which I actually saw to prep for this, even though that's not what we're talking about. Just as a contrast, I just feel like Trilogy of Terror is kind of the M. Night Shyamalan of its day and age, where everyone remembers the last 10 minutes, but no one remembers all the professor stuff. Well, Killdozer is kind of one of those, you love it, you hate it, or it's a so bad it's good movie, but everyone remembers that cool concept of a runaway tractor controlled by an alien beam.
Well, and you could see how that could have inspired some of the other stuff we see later, like Stephen King's Christine, or
Yeah.
Or Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum
Yep.
Overdrive. Yes.
the ending is similar to Jaws 2.
It is. Oh my god.
Spoiler, but yeah.
All that was missing was a bunch of other sheriffs with shotgun and Killdozer taking out a giant helicopter.
Well,
Yeah,
so
doesn't
Killdozer-
Roy Scheider taunts the shark to jump up, and they were kind of taunting the Killdozer the
Yes.
same way.
So
Probably
basically,
the same writer.
Right?
Basically, then you're saying, you're saying they stole it from Killdozer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a universal project, so anything is possible. I'm sure it had to be a running joke. You're like, hey, we got a killer shark movie coming out. How about we make a killer tractor movie first?
Yeah, that entire concept kind of came out of the general feel from a lot of 70s movies like Day of the Animals and
Yes.
anything like that.
That was the start before the resurgence in the 90s. Jurassic Park kind of made it marketable again, but before this, it was kind of word of mouth. Did you see that one movie at the drive-in? Oh,
Yeah, but
gave me
it goes
chills.
beyond that. It goes beyond that too. The whole concept is that there's something scientific that we can't explain, that we know is happening, or that something unknown, and that causes utter chaos later on down the line.
Yes.
And it's the theme that keeps getting repeated and repeated. That they always have the one person who knows what's going on, and everybody else doesn't believe them, and then leads to death, and
Yes.
destruction, mayhem, and stuff like that. And before you know it, including another one from the 70s, Night of the Lepus.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dr. McCoy versus Killer Rabbits.
Oh, I forgot even.
It's dead bugs.
All these
And it had
movies that mentioned Rift Tracks is hit, but not Killdozer, as far as I know. I don't think.
Yeah, there was a blog
got it.
post that I recall reading a while back that I couldn't tell if they were mistaken, but reading it twice, it sounded like they were kind of one of those people taking shortcuts and making bad movies, but not doing proper research. And they're like, oh, it was featured on MST3K. I'm like, it was never featured on MST3K.
It just seems like it was.
You would know. It was referenced in Rift Tracks Future Force as well as one of the short specials from 2011, but it is referenced for clarification in Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Stranded in Space, Daddy-O, Fugitive Alien, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, where they do make fun of the ending. They're like, it's like that final scene. The Giant Gila Monster, Attack of the Eye Creatures, Warrior of the Lost World, which is definitely the first time I recall hearing about that title.
Yes, with Mega Weapon.
Mega Weapon,
Yeah, I
voiced by
love
Mike
Mega Weapon.
Nelson. And last time
I love
it
the
got
graphics
mentioned-
they come up with for Mega Weapon off the movie.
Absolutely, Mega Weapon's pretty not safe for work compared to Killdozer.
I was watching Mary Jo Pill take on bad music videos the other night, and somebody brought up Killdozer in the chat.
Oh wow!
So I was wondering if it was Tom or one of
I
you
hope
guys.
the and it was less referenced in Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders, but I do feel like the Mads are back. Could definitely with Frank Conniff and Trace Beaulieu. That if there's anyone who might tackle it before any new season of MST or Retracts, that it might be them. I mean, so
I wonder how available it would be for that kind of thing.
It's pretty widely available. So, I mean, despite being produced by Universal, they didn't apparently retain the rights, and it was released by Willite Acquisition Corporation, which I looked up. And apparently, that this is what this company does. They just take old archive media and distributes it for various purposes. It was in 2021, and then Kino Lorber gave it the Blu-ray treatment.
Wow,
I heard it was
better movies than that. Yeah,
they were out of
it. I've always seen
it had
a library Kino Lorber titles, documentaries, and stuff. Sure.
Oh man,
it's kind of interesting seeing. It was a pre-Vegas, pre-Spencer for Hire, Robert Urich.
Absolutely,
Robert Urich, yeah, even pre-SWAT.
Pre-SWAT. So we're gonna take a break real fast, and we're gonna play you a hysterical interview from Conan O'Brien.
Thank you.
Where he asks the $1 million question to Ulrich, why did you do this movie?
You've done a lot of TV shows.
Yes.
There was one I have never asked you about,
Right.
and I have to ask you about it.
Right.
You did a TV movie once called Killdozer.
Huge.
Now, let me take you on this ride, folks. I think it came out in 1974. So I'm this kid. I'm 11 years old, and I'm watching it, and here's the plot. It's a bunch of construction workers and their bulldozer on an island. A meteor hits the bulldozer and turns it into an evil killing machine.
Yeah, right. See, they like this. I think it's right for a remake, a reshoot.
Yeah! And what I loved about it is that the bulldozer went no faster than 15 miles an hour. And you guys are on an island. All you have to do is step up like on kind of a high rock, and it would just sit there and not be able to do anything. But for the whole movie, you're like, no, no!
But it was persistent, though, you see.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't quit. Yeah.
Why did you do Killdozer?
Well, I needed some actors do things because they are challenges creatively. This was not one of those reasons. It was for the dough. I did it for the money to pay the rent. But I made up things. I told my friends, I would say things like, I've never done a movie where I've had a death scene. So I'm doing Killdozer because I get to die in it.
There's a lot of firsts in Killdozer. I've never been chased by a mutated bulldozer before. I think I should try it.
It's huge. It's one of those cult films.
It didn't go very fast.
No, it
go in
didn't
a
go
cave and
fast.
wait for it to run out of gas. I mean, I was watching it. I was like 10 years old, and I'm sitting there watching it, and to no one, I just turned and went, this is ridiculous. But anyway, I just had to bring up Killdozer.
Huge in video, yeah.
And it inspired. I think it's the reason that King wrote the one about the car that comes to life.
I'm sure that was the reason.
Yeah. He ripped off Killdozer. You should sue.
Oh, God.
Before we go,
we're
Dan,
going already?
No,
Okay.
no. Well, once you do Killdozer, how can you top that?
Sure, you're right.
It wasn't a time issue. It was just like once
Happy New Year.
No.
And we're back.
Oh, that was funny. You know when Andy Richter did that thing? Yeah, that was fantastic.
It's a really, really hysterical interview. Just because it's like he's such a good sport. You can tell he's like, I'm on Conan. Of course, I'm going to be asked a stupid question. But it's just amazing just how he didn't hold back. He's like, well, I needed the dough, and I needed to find a reason to on screen. So yeah, here we go. It stars.
Yeah, he needed it for the SAG card.
I don't know what was funnier, him responding to him, or Conan wanting to ask the questions, or Angelina Jolie, who was the initial guest, just trying to hold back laughter. Is like, are you kidding me?
Did they show clips and stuff from it too?
They didn't show clips. They didn't have time. They had originally wanted to do the interview, but 9/11 happened, so they had to do this later. Yeah, there's a different and out of control plane. So it stars Clint Walker of Cheyenne TV show fame as Drunk Lloyd, and
Drunk Lloyd. I didn't catch the name before.
Yeah, he's just Lloyd, but he's a drunk.
I caught Chuck, but not Drunk Lloyd.
I know.
Drunk Lloyd.
For hire. Yeah, no. Carl Betts from the Donna Reed Show and Love of Life as Dennis. Neville Brand, who you might know from Riot in Cell Block 11 as Chud.
I know him from Laredo. That was a huge thing in my neighborhood. It was the
Oh,
rerun,
he is on that. Shoot.
early 70s. Reese Bennett. Sure, he was great in that.
There you go.
Anyway,
James
go on.
Wainwright, who is the king of Westerns and TV fame, everything from The President's Plane is Missing to The Private Files of J. Edgar Hoover to Joe Kidd. My favorite, Al, the African-American member of the team, James A. Watson Jr. You might know him from Quincy MD and
was he an
various-
airplane by any chance?
Yes, he's in Airplane 2, and so he had to be in some other disaster movie, and he's got various Rockford Files and NCIS roles. So,
Okay,
and of course, our lovely Mac, Robert Ulrich. Oh man, so this would have been before, yeah, like I said before, this is before SWAT, before Vegas. Got to start somewhere, but he's in that Universal TV canon, this being in this movie.
And
I
this movie
think-
had a serious lack of women.
yeah.
Yeah, we needed
they have a
someone.
Veronica Lake pinup, but you never
Yeah,
see it. They talk
man.
about it. Yeah. So yeah,
We could have had
just to let
Veronica.
everybody know that they weren't gay or something. I suppose. I don't know.
I guess, man.
You know?
We could have had Veronica Hamill. She would have been working by this time. We could have had some of those other. Karen Black,
Yeah.
was she not available? Damn it.
Is it made clear that they're on an island? I'm not even sure, or even how they got there.
They pretty
Kind of.
much.
I mean, they show you the ocean shores or the shore of the.
They don't show it. They don't do it very well, but the Wikipedia claims it crashed in an island off the coast of Africa. Well, I'm sorry. This is Valencia, California. This is not. I needed some tribal people trying to kill it or worshiping it as a god. Yes,
Just
that's what it
40
was.
miles south of the Derby.
Oh man.
Well, apparently there was
minute.
nobody else on this island either.
And this was
wait a minute.
always, I had seen it a few different times. For some reason, some people, even if they hate it, they want to talk about it because it is just kind of that perfect party movie. But I
I'm
was
gonna make
always.
it,
Go ahead.
I'm going to make it even better. Having a crossover between Killdozer and The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Oh, now, I saw that one a bunch growing up. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen that too. That's
Seen it once or twice. The gods must be
Yeah.
crazy, and the gods must be crazy too.
Are there Coke bottles in both?
No,
think
but
so.
they're going to worship
Isn't
Killdozer.
there?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, what was always annoying just was looking it up, and because it would always give a real life event where a tractor went out of control by Marvin Heemeyer, an automobile muffler owner, and he just demolished a bunch of vehicles and buildings in Colorado in 2004 due to a grudge. And I was like, dudes, I don't want to talk about real life. I'm talking about a movie.
And it even got labeled as Killdozer, but he didn't.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, he just went on a rampage, but yeah.
Yeah, and destroyed buildings.
I
and
guess
stuff. Cars.
you should have called him Intent to Kill Dozer. Man, maybe, I don't know. Maybe someone was actually dozing off and the name stuck. I don't know. So this has apparently been made fun of on an earlier episode of Beavis and Butthead as well. And
Oh wow. Okay.
apparently in the book, the short story, the Dozer was a Caterpillar Model D7, nicknamed Daisy Ada, which is the Spanish translation. I don't know why that's important. But apparently the forward speed of a Caterpillar is 7.3 miles per hour. And I love this trivia. It's like the average male can jog 8.3 miles an hour. Just adding to the plot holes. Oh, man. Oh, it was
Well, it's like
filmed
you can
in 20
outmaneuver a
days.
bulldozer. You can just run circles around it. It will never. It's always trying to catch up if you do. But you
I
know,
mean, apparently the author who it was adapted from, the director Jerry London has done a bunch of stuff, including Shogun, the original miniseries, and Hogan's Heroes, as well as something called Ellis Island. There you go. So he's used to islands, but the author who did this, apparently he did some classic Star Trek episodes, as well as Twilight Zone episodes. He is none other than Theodore Sturgeon.
Okay.
And he did Amok Time and then he also did, damn you, Shore Leave, where everyone's again going
I'm
to a
not going back,
planetary
Jim.
Which he
Oh, man.
doesn't say, but the way they do it on MST3K, you think he did say it.
Absolutely. It's kind of like their
It works.
variation. Well, just like any other pop culture, you're gonna do your own take on a famous one-liner. It's fine.
It's play it, Sam, not play it again, Sam.
Yes,
And,
there you go.
That's
and
probably the
we don't
most
need no
famous.
stinking
Casablanca
badges.
was definitely the start of it. Yeah, we don't need no stinking badges.
Oh, that's not in the movie either. We don't need no stinking badges.
There's a variation on it, but it's not.
Yeah, it's always a little
exact
off.
phrasing. It's like, we don't need to show you our stinking badges.
Half the time people are kind of imitating other parodies. Like, we're often imitating all these other celebrities, like Daryl Hammond doing Sean Connery or something, or we use all these one-liners like I'm walking here, but I dare you to name anyone who actually knows that's from Midnight Cowboy.
I know that.
I know, but I'm talking about today's snobby crowd. They're gonna
That's true,
probably go,
you hear it a lot, and how many people know
it's a New York thing. No, it didn't happen overnight. What is it from?
And I wonder where Dustin got it from. Did he make it up on the spot? Was it scripted or?
Now that I don't know, and I would like to know.
Let's get him on. Let's get him on here.
Yeah, before you hit it. So, yeah, I've. Has anyone ever listened to the rock band of the same name? All I know is they're
The
from Wisconsin.
Killdozers, or
Yeah, just Killdozer. No plural.
oh, yeah.
It's on my list now of millions of bands I'll someday get around to listening. But
When did they get created as a band?
9 years after this, apparently. So they were an early 70s metal group, which is why I probably haven't heard of them. But apparently, yeah, it was adapted into Worlds Unknown in '74, and I had read a bunch of those snippets of it that were featured on different blogs, and it was inspired by the short story, and apparently Theodore originally published it in a 1944 issue of Astounding Science Fiction. Well, astounding indeed. It must be deeper with the mind.
Wow. Bulldozers weren't around very long yet.
I guess, man.
Well, that's not true. You had World War II, and I think they were around.
I just wonder what happened in the course of a 20-day shoot. Like, what coverage were they getting? Were they getting the actors first and then doing all the effects money shots later?
They did the writing last.
There you go. Just run around like you're crazy.
I have seen every Mystery Science Theater movie and most of Riff Tracks, Film Crew. I have never seen a movie with more cliches ever. It's like every.
Oh, really?
85%. I was writing lines down. It's just.
I think that's why I found it amusing, but it is definitely by the numbers. But that can.
And I wonder if it was on purpose. I wonder if they purposely did it, even for 1970s.
No telling.
Yes, that's the thing. I think it was basically just we were starting to get a little bit more scientifically literate, kind of, but we were starting to think about things like pollution and things that we didn't quite understand. And that, you also remember, this is also the time frame when In Search Of started a little bit later in the 70s, but it still worked on that what don't we know, or what's something that we think we know but we actually don't, and out of a lack of understanding of the science, we get bad science fiction.
Yeah.
Yep. I couldn't.
I was going to say too, not necessarily cliched, but absurd lines like the early on. Okay, sweetheart, destroy. That's actually in the movie. He's talking to something. I can't find anything on the guy who wrote the teleplay. This is his only credit. I wonder if it's the script writer under a different name. I don't know. But I wouldn't. That's an interesting theory. It's fun just for the dialogue. It's a blast.
So James A. Watson Jr., who plays Al, is the only surviving actor. So unless we can get some other film crew member, we would probably want to set up an interview with him and just say, "Hey, tell us everything before you go."
I did notice.
How could it happen? I don't get it. Have you ever heard that one before?
You gotta like this. Yeah.
I did notice when they were burying the second guy, and you had the two mounds of the two dead people. I swear to God, it looks like right next to it there was already another third hole dug out.
Yep.
Continuity.
This is like if you made a Night of the Living Dead or Die Hard type movie, but the heroes were literally outdoor the entire time. Where they're like, "I'm out. I'm going into the jungle."
I noticed.
Now, I'm shitting on this a lot, but I do enjoy it just because it is kind of a fun movie. It's just, I think it's just, it was made by people who had an idea, but not much imagination. But it was still, it kind of just, it had a fun idea.
Well, not only do they kill the black guy off early, that's been a cliche in tons of
He wasn't first though.
He
wasn't.
Yeah, he was second, but he also gets no eulogy. They talk about the other guy, you know.
Damn it.
Although Chuck didn't get one either, but I think they thought Chuck.
Why do you think
or
so
not Chuck,
many...
no, wait a minute. Is it Chuck? I'm getting the name wrong.
No, I think you're right.
Character. I don't know. I don't think it was Chuck. Was it?
No, it wasn't Chuck. It was. Oh man, I had notes.
Either way, Terror Trap, Popcorn Pictures, and Dread Central all really hate this movie.
Well, Chuck or whoever he was, also they were saying he was going crazy, and there's really nothing he does to. I mean, he's playing a cassette tape that makes him crazy, you know.
Oh, that might have been Chuck.
Yeah,
I
maybe
thought you were talking about York for a second, but you're talking about the other guy.
It's all good.
Yeah, he's the.
Either way, I mean,
he's the last to die.
If I was Clint Walker's...
the guy went in the Jeep to go down because he wanted to go swimming.
Yeah.
Yep. Now that part was definitely dumb.
If I say it's safe to surf this beach, it's safe to surf this beach. You know?
I still
war that he wants to go swimming. Yeah,
it's like
all he had to do was get out of that.
Yeah.
All he had to do was get out of that car.
Dutch. His name is Dutch. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Yeah.
So either way, I mean, if I was Clint Walker's character Kelly, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell the truth. It'll redeem myself." I'm like, no, it won't. Lie in this instance. No one will. People will think you're just drunk.
Well, so you got to see. It doesn't show you what the consequences of him telling the truth was.
Yeah, I can only imagine the awkward conversation after the fact. Yeah. Oh, you said what? Yeah. So where do I file this in police report? Let's take you to this place called the Nut House, buddy.
After Mac dies, I wrote down, I liked him. That's and then the next line, can we say goodbye now? It's like, let's move on.
To say goodbye. Yeah.
Oh my. Max the first to buy it, yeah.
I gotta actually applaud all the actors. I think they made the movie for me.
Yeah, they own their parts. Yeah, they were good. For what they had to work with, sure.
Kind of wonder, I mean, I'm pretty sure Clint Walker's probably done some other kind of cheesy science fiction-y type stuff before, but I can't recall it.
Yeah, he's mainly, he goes from Che-Ying to various other TV guest spots for the most part, like many of these guys, but that's not bad.
I think he was in a short-lived ABC series, Kodiak. That rings a bell.
Yes.
Clint Walker is Kodiak. I remember that. It was like half a season. I remember that. Around the $6 Million Man era. Yeah. So, but I think it was set in Alaska or something like that. I never watched it. I just remember the ads. But but yeah, he was, like you said, he was in a lot of Westerns early in Cheyenne.
Was he also in, it was a cartoon character kind of thing, their play or something that he was in, and there was a movie made, and I think he played like Little Abner. That was it. Wasn't he a Little Abner?
Cool.
Not the movie, a cartoon version of
sure, but it was Little Abner, the cartoon strip. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was.
Well, I know they did a movie years in the 50s of that, but
yeah, that's what I was trying.
Maybe he was in that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love it when these guys who can go from everything instead of just rely on being the Disney voiceover person or the talk show host who, once that goes away, their career kind of dies and they become a drunk again. It's just really cool to see guys who just adapt and go anywhere, like a bulldozer.
There's also several obligatory shortwave radio scenes, that never work. That's straight on.
Yeah.
Jaws had
now that would have been
Jaws Quint takes the radio out,
That would have actually been a better way had they, because people forget, if you dealt with that, you could also hear in on taxi cabs and everything. It would have been cool had they found a amusing way to have the frequency and somehow stall the thing or something. But as it is, it just kind of just keeps demolishing stuff and blows up. But
yeah, what was its reasoning or purpose behind it? What was his acting reason for that?
Yeah. What was his motivation?
Yeah, what was his
yeah, there you go. Bulldozer, where are you in the scene? Silence.
Who knew that Killdozer was a method actor?
Don't understand.
So they're left with a cassette player. I figured that out watching.
Someone had to have it.
Yeah, and even the cassette player just had a cheesy fake 70s TV show music. They couldn't even
afford Casey Kasem. Yeah,
Casey Kasem or something. Yeah,
you're listening to Killdozer Radio.
It's like
it wasn't even a radio
song. They hit top 70 or something. Something.
Listening to your cassette.
Hi, I'm Casey, and this is a request. This long distance dictation from Killdozer to the people allowed to kill.
Oh my God. Allowed to Kill. That sounds like an awful Steven Seagal movie. Allowed to Kill.
And it fits in with the standard Steven Seagal
formula
film title. It's 3 words.
3 words, yep. It's got to end with kill or fight or death.
Loudly kill.
Loudly kill.
There you
Death.
go.
Death to kill. Inconsequential kill. Executive kill.
They also did the cliche gasping, choking death throw scene. That was it. That's in there somewhere. But yeah,
somewhere.
I was just spin the cliche wheel. It's but he's okay. Yeah. I did like the ocean shots. It kind of gave you a breath of, we can breathe for a second here. There was some nice ocean shots.
Instead of looking at all the tread tracks and stuff on the ground.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was really interesting was when they found that military base on there. I would have liked to have seen that explored a little bit more. I mean,
I didn't really. I missed it. Yeah.
It was early on. A couple of guys went into this one spot and they were looking for something, and they found the remains of a military base.
Oh, they were in like a, what do you call those huts or whatever for military bases?
Hut or something like that.
Maybe it just got in the shot and they had to write something about it. Who knows? They weren't supposed to be in there.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to, but dang it.
Well, yeah, there's also a World War II reference less than 5 minutes in. There's another one.
Yep, that's what they were talking about. That World War II base.
Yep. Okay.
So here's a thought: the Killdozer's motivation. He was a Nazi.
From space.
Oh man,
space Nazis.
Space Nazis.
I mean, hey, it worked for Iron Sky.
I feel like how there's that one giant tank bulldozing thing in Total Recall. I like to think that that's an origin story for Killdozer, used by one of those guys killing all the Martians. Cricket.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was reading my notes.
What notes?
ADD. I got ADD.
You keep saying notes. What notes?
Yeah. I wrote down, I don't know quite what I meant. Love the meteor / dentist metaphor. Big cavity. Apparently the meteor caused a big cavity. That isn't.
Is it maximum?
I was watching this at 6 a.m. So
at 6 a.m. My God.
I woke up early Sunday. I'm going to watch Killdozer.
Is it maximum overdrive starting with a meteor shower?
Something like that.
Does it?
I think there's something about a meteor shower in that.
Getting a maximum overdrive.
Oh, did you notice too? Whenever they did special effects, it was a still shot. They couldn't even do it over a motion shot.
You're right.
And they paint almost like they painted over it.
It's a Sid Marty Krofft special effect.
Yeah, kind of like how Star Trek would do. Yeah, just a painting.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
The Jacked Up Review Show podcast is honored to be part of the Blind Knowledge Podcast Network. Join anytime, talk the talk, and enjoy yourselves. There's something enlightening for everyone with this crowd of cool cats. Check them out. Insert shot of a planet. But so yeah, Gil's right. There is a comet overpass. We don't see it hit, but we see it pass over. So yeah, you're right. Stephen King ripped off Killdozer.
It was a meteor, but it was a comet coming over. Okay.
You know, giant rock.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors. I don't know.
There's also, they're providing exposition, and the guy doing it, it's going, and then we got the obligatory heavy breathing exposition scene I wrote down.
Yeah.
And then, sure, it's okay. Lie back now. That's in there.
You know, when I was watching the movie, I was actually thinking, shouldn't it be running out of gas or something? But then they kind of covered.
Yeah.
They kind of covered it when they were filling up their own vehicles. He says, "I don't know what that thing is running on."
Oh well,
because they were kind of making that comment that it should have run out of gas.
Whatever the meteor did provide the energy.
They kind of still a version of that idea in those crappy live action Transformers movies, but then they also kind of do it in Terminator 3, where the TX is controlling an entire crane machine, and all she has to do is just put some energy in it, and this thing that requires a special key to operate just starts coming to life and wrecking buildings. So it's like, it is kind of, I kind of can infer that, yeah, whatever the hell is in that fucking asteroid, all that blue plasma light, it's good. It don't need no gas.
Well, actually, I might have an explanation for that. The way I remember it, and granted, this has been a few days and overnight since I've seen it, but it sounded like it was an entity. It was a being that did it. So it was using its own life energy apparently to drive the Killdozer.
It's kind of like the no kill eye creature in Star Trek original series. In a way, yeah.
There you go.
Well, those are cave
talking
monsters.
The Hordes.
Yeah. And then someone figured out how to spell English on the ground and leave a message, no kill. Well, does that mean don't kill me, or does it mean I'm not going to kill? They're trying to figure it out. Yeah. Anyway, that's a weird tangent.
And then hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues from the makers of Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
Part of somebody during Mac's eulogy, somebody says his trip was short. Too short.
But
then they add too short.
Too short.
It's quiet in here. Too quiet.
Is there a rapper named Too Short?
Maybe.
You're talking.
If not,
there is. Oh my God.
There is a two. Wow.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe they got it from the movie.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he was with the Dangerous Crew in Oakland.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about it. It was panned when it came out. Nobody, it got bad reviews
did you
and everything.
Watch that?
But
Conan said in that interview how he was 11 when he saw it, and he's like, "This is absurd," And this is before when you're a kid, before you have any subjectiveness.
But it amazes me how much got stolen from it.
Yeah.
I
will say one thing: they don't waste any time on character development with any of them. It's just throw them out there. Let's go. Yeah. There's no backstories or.
This is gonna air on the Twilight Zone. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, we still only have enough time for 40 minutes, so just do whatever.
It was only the movie was only like an hour and what, 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Itself, it wasn't very long. Kind
Yeah,
of seemed long.
it wasn't on. You could only get bootleg copies of it for the longest time, so but it is out there now for those who want to see it on DVD or Blu-ray. So
The
And, and
obligatory let's all have a drink scene.
Well, I did try to look to see
Yep.
if I could find it on digital. I couldn't find it except for, airing on YouTube. So I thought,
Right.
well, I'm going to have to get the DVD now.
Oh, Plex had it. I saw it on Plex. I got the app.
What? You
Yeah,
guys got
there was a 90-second ad, and I went back and out, and it was gone. No ads, other than the beginning. And
You guys got to exchange numbers.
yeah, so I just downloaded the Plex app and watched it on that. So,
Damn.
do I get a kickback?
And thank God Plex is free.
Somebody at one point they're reminiscing about Mac or somebody that died, and somebody says he was a crazy, beautiful kid. Again, these lines, they're right up there with Ed Wood. It's like, who talks like this,
Yeah, crazy beautiful, followed by
Crazy,
kid.
beautiful kid.
You want to explain that last part?
And also,
I
somebody
think
says
you already
the bar
did.
is closed at one point too. I love it.
Yeah.
And he grabs the bottle. The bar is closed. He grabs the bottle.
Oh, I remember a stupid Sci-Fi Channel movie back in the day that had Dean Cain, and there were even crappy foreign posters of it in the UK that reused Sean Connery's character from Dragonheart just to fool people into buying it. But at one point, one character just suddenly, instead of trying to fight and kill the dragon that's blowing up their factory, he just decides to become an alcoholic for no reason. So I do feel like this is kind of the case with TV terror movies, and it's just like, how did we get here again? Was something cut for time? Because I got to put too
No,
much.
it's just the way everything was solved back in the 70s.
Vietnam and drugs.
Just kind of.
Yeah. If we drink enough, then Vietnam will go away.
It will go away, and I'll just go to a Van Halen concert after college. It's all good, man.
You're talking about Dean Cain. It made me think of a movie that I can't think of the name of it, but it's a cheap B movie thing that he did, and they used footage from Terminator 2 in it.
Oh yes. That's the Jim Wynorski film. See, look at who I am. I know this. This movie came on TV a lot. Stacey Keach is like a white supremacist terrorist, and Wynorski and Fred Olen Ray would do this to death. To where it's like, guys, reuse the car explosion. The minute you show me the Cyberdyne logo, I know what movie this is from. And it's called Militia, and it's like, it would come on like regular TV all the time, and it was always, unless you were on the movie channels, when you came on in the middle of these on regular TV, you always thought, am I on the right channel? Did TV Guide get the listing wrong? Because you'd see, clips from all these canon movies, and you're like, what's going on here?
And you see things like Space Mutiny, and they use footage from Battlestar Galactica. So
Yes.
do you not think anybody's not going to recognize that? But
yeah, even
for the 3 people saw it in the movie theater, I'm guessing none of them did.
Make that barely anyone saw it back in the day. But yeah, I mean, before I even looked it up, I was like, that looks like it's from a different movie. There's a different quality and fluidity to it, and here I get unusually lit,
Well, 70s TV movies, there's always the stock footage. Yeah, heck, even I saw Midway, the original in 74, and they used footage from Tora during it.
Yes,
and half of us knew that we'd all seen both. It's like,
get your own damn footage.
I paid good money for this.
Paid good money.
You think nobody noticed?
All right, well, so
that was Universal too. Now I think about it.
There you go. So to end this off, I'm gonna let you guys. Do you want to make a sequel to Killdozer, or do you want to do a remake? Bigger and better. You can cast anybody in it. We're pretty much all on the same page. It's bananas, but you should see it at least once. So, Tom, who would you want to? I'll split it up if that's easier. Who do you want to have direct, write, or produce a Killdozer type creature feature?
Well, There's only one group I can think of off the top of my head, and that's the Caterpillar Company, because they did Shake Hands with Danger.
Yeah.
So
That's the only way. That's the only way you elevate it beyond what it is right now. You get those people involved, get them to use one of their own bulldozers.
There you go.
And heck, throw in some people, throw in some random people, and you got yourself a movie. And you can even throw in a homage to Chuck Hamlin.
There you go. And they trick everybody. They think they're filming a TV Super Bowl ad, and it's really, oh no, we're making a full length movie.
No, they're doing it. You're doing a safety film.
Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna have Mike Mendez from Don't Kill It and La Ventula do he does all these campy sci-fi action horror movies. Hey, he should at least do the campy dialogue. Mike, who do you want to have star in this educational short? Educational.
Oh, so we're using Killdozer as a Shake Hands with Danger type short.
Perfect. Reefer Madness.
Yeah, who could get in a stretch? Jim Carrey could be crazy.
Oh, okay, perfect. Jim Carrey.
I mean, Fire Marshal Bill. He'd fit right.
And Fire Marshal Bill mode. Yes.
And his elastic body, he could do something with this. Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren can be one of the guys who wants to go surfing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gil, what do you want to change? And
I don't know. Maybe turn it into a Muppet movie and have it directed by Kevin Smith. I don't know.
I would see that.
There you go.
I would see that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Good.
We always seem to cast Muppets in this. We did this in the Jaws special. We were like, who's gonna play Chief Brody?
Jane, Silent Bob versus Killdozer.
Yeah, man. Fuck.
Silent Bob as the Killdozer.
Oh, there you go. Silent Bob smokes an alien
Maybe have his
joint.
face emblazoned on the.
There you go, on the joint, and it turns him into a killer bulldozer. Perfect. And
but it's Kermit the Frog and Fozzie Bear as Jay and Silent Bob.
there you go. And they have to bleep. And they have to bleep out every other thing Silent Bob Jay is saying, just to make it PG-13. He only gets one F-bomb. God. Love it. Love it all. Love it. Well, if there's nothing further, I mean,
I could throw out 4 more lines I had to write down.
Line, please.
It's an exchange. Look, I'm human. We are too. That's in the movie. That's like, again, it's Ed Wood territory.
It's like they're trying to go somewhere good with this, but they definitely went with a first draft. And I saw that they only had 2 cameras on this, which is wild. You would have thought there'd be a 5-camera setup. But
I just got 2 more. These are too good. Well, there's one thing. Somebody says that. Well, there's one thing. That's been, but my favorite of these is probably, I don't want anyone taking this machine out until I get the green light. Again, it's like, oh, this is by the book. Every movie you've ever seen is in this.
Yeah.
Well,
here's your green
light.
light.
Remember the movie Foul Play that reminded you of 25 Hitchcock movies? It's the same way with the lines, the cliched lines you've seen, in this movie.
True.
Anyway.
And there's one at the end that's quoted on IMDb is like, how can you kill a machine? Or something along those lines.
Yeah. It's like, well, gee.
They finally start thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
We got 10 minutes left. Let's think about something. Let's have our first rational thought right before the end.
I applaud all these actors.
So many lives, and if we had done a little bit of thinking, but no, let's get drunk and try to.
These actors are on fire because they're just breaking a sweat, and any of us would have been like, "Can you position me this way?" I keep trying to not laugh in this shot.
Well, it's in the spirit of Indiana Jones. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. The whole movie's like that,
Yeah. Oh man, it's like instead of the John Ford tear script pages up and keep going, I feel like just say something that's motivating. I don't know.
Yeah, don't suck.
Act, damn you! Act.
I was not bored 1 minute of this movie. What are they going to do next? Where's this going next? It's just you couldn't take your eyes off it.
Well, I do know I read stuff where it was being criticized for being a plotting movie, even though it was a short
It's
movie.
kind of all these 70s terror movies.
But I wasn't that bored by it.
Me neither.
I just kept watching it, going, okay, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm going along with it.
Yeah. It is attention getting versus, hey, what's happening here? Or people remember it just because of that one violent shot. It is wild how some people on rare occasions have said they got nightmares from this. I'm like, well, okay. I mean, they didn't show much, but I guess if you're 4 years old and you watch this,
it was a TV movie, for crying out loud. How scary could it be?
Yeah.
Here's the speed of
and it's in full screen. Oh, yeah.
Here's the speed of the dozer, and here's the guys running around. They got an entire island here. I think they can figure a way out here.
They were doing
the sand here.
Right, they were doing those tropes. They were tripping in the sand. The guy's car, Jeep was stuck, and he couldn't get.
That would have been amazing.
You could have got out of the Jeep.
They should have had
high heels.
They should have approached it like a war movie, where someone draws a literal line in the sand and says, "We will stand up and fight." That would have been amazing.
But
somebody's a sour ball too in that.
Yes.
Yeah, someone is called Sourball. It's
several times.
It's the two remaining actors at the end, isn't it? Clint Walker calls it to the other guy.
Sour ball.
Yes, like
sour puss.
100 years, I think I can grow to like you.
Yeah, those guys were meant to be a couple. That is for sure.
He was the best machine operator you ever had. That's in there too. I got to put these cards away. It just goes on and on. You got to watch it.
Absolutely.
Make a list. There's at least 50 lines.
It's probably Leroy Jenkins' favorite movie.
I don't know who that is, but
Leroy. So long story short, without over explaining this popular YouTube short that broke the internet, when someone calls you a Leroy Jenkins, you've really screwed up in the best possible way.
Okay. It's kind of like that director that if they don't want their name taken off, they use that.
Alan Smithy, yeah.
Alan Smithy. Yeah. Okay, he's like Alan Smith. Okay.
I guess Jerry London wasn't ashamed. He's like, just another Tuesday.
Jerry London has done better work, is what you were saying, right?
Yep, Hogan's Heroes. I think he was like, I don't know how to make this scary except just have intense close-ups. So
I gotta thank you, Cam, because this had been on my geek radar for years and years, and I never checked it out.
I figured it'd be a perfect fit just because we love ourselves all these nutty, just killer cyborgs and unusual kung fu and just zany comedies, and it's like, this is perfect.
From Hogan's Heroes to
Killdozer. What a hell of a resume.
Too bad they didn't write that Killdozer into Hogan's Heroes. They could have got out that way.
You're right. Sergeant Clink, here's a little something for you.
Corporal Clink, you are incompetent. Yes, I know. Maybe I should take you out to the Western Front. Oh, I don't know many people on the Western Front.
Is this how? Is this? I think this is how Tim Robbins escaped in the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, the tunnel?
Yeah. How'd it get there, man? There must have been some hidden dozer that he could collide through, because he didn't dig out of there. I'm sorry.
At one point, a character has a dozer after him, and he climbs into a pipe. It's like, really? That's your movie?
I guess.
Next scene, graveyard.
So John McClane ripped off.
He would have been better off. Yeah, he would have been better off just standing up and running.
Exactly. Or climbing on the damn thing.
They really treat this entire
much, other than crush,
They treat this whole playground. They literally do treat it like a playhouse. It's like, go up here. Here's the slide. Yeah.
Few months ago, I don't care. He went to Shawshank prison. He became friends with Andy Dufresne. It was the longest night of his life.
Now I want.
You busy dozing or you busy laughing?
But Morgan Freeman needs to be the voice of Killdozer.
And there's no way there's no way that
I'm about to run you over. Because I'm Killdozer.
There's no way that Killdozer could have got over all that entire island. They could have found a safe spot too. It's just,
I don't know, man. Aliens find a way.
well, maybe to keep it running.
The aliens are smart. They use radar.
I will see any filmmaker do a remake of this as long as it's not U-Ball or by the creators of Independence Day. Yeah. It's got to be
another cliche.
I have to keep cracking up Mike's comment about radar.
Well, I stole that from David Letterman. He was doing a
you
bit
probably stole it
about-
from Radar Secret Service.
Oh yes,
radar could do anything in that.
Radar.
I lost my car keys. Let's use radar.
On one episode of Letterman, he says, "Them bats is smart. They use radar." It was a running gag for the whole show. I remember that.
Oh my word, that's great.
I gotta say one more line here. This is I seen the dozer acting all by itself. You saw it too. The next line, forget it.
What?
I went exactly right. I said, WTF?
I forgot about that. Probably because
don't worry about it. Just forget it.
Well, there's a point where Clint Walker says he
saw
doesn't.
the thing acting on its own accord.
I take it back.
Forget
The filmmaker Jerry London pulled a John Ford, by ripping out pages he couldn't film, but he ripped out some important ones.
Yeah.
Well,
we're out of time.
Make something up. Improvise, guys.
Yeah, no one cares. This is shit anyway. Do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Again, just watch the movie. I mean, it's chock full of that kind of stuff.
Oh man.
Well, Clint Walker sees him destroy the radio and kill these two guys, and he's still like, well, it's an expensive piece of equipment. All right.
You heard you could watch with the sound off. You could watch this movie with the picture off, just to hear what they're saying. It's so insane. It would make as much sense.
So there you go. It should be on that Who's Line skit where they often do the film dub. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, I forgot my car keys.
Or here's a fun party game. You play with the sound off, and then you could be the riffers.
Oh.
I bought some movies on Amazon recently, like Night of the British Dead.
What?
Where these riffed over Night of the Living
stop
Dead.
There?
And there's also Monster from Green Hell was dubbed as, I think it was called Monster from British Hell. And it's also on Amazon.
Yes. British Hell sounds like definitely a special kind of hell. That's like in between purgatory and hell, I think.
Well, I'm quite sorry, sir.
Stop that. That's silly.
What's all this then?
You can't have any pudding.
I really have to work on watching really good movies because since Mystery Science
we
Theater
ran out of good movies.
I know. I think I'm 80% bad.
Well, even before
it's the play's the thing. It's what they do with the movies that makes it
bingo.
Work.
Well, even before Mystery Science Theater 3000, when I was a kid and I was watching these old movies at night, it'd be Fridays and Saturday nights.
That was your USA Up All Night equivalent back then.
Well, I was before that.
That's what I mean. In the 70s, we didn't have a TV host to.
But and I'm watching these movies, and I'm watching them more than once. So you got to find ways to keep yourself entertained, and you start noticing, more and more all the glitches and stuff that are in the film. And that, for me, made it more entertaining.
Got to, man.
So,
you got to.
Yeah, you have fun with it. Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up